I wish that I could just wish away my feelings, but I can't.
Sand hurts my feelings.
I don't like sand.
Hurts my feelings.
Haunted by big sand in my very soul. Sand. How you're suffering as much as I am.
Sand hurts my feelings.
Tormenting me. I'm in agony.
Sand hurts my feelings.
I don't like sand.
Hello, and welcome to The Sand Hurts My Feelings, a Star Wars podcast from a Swiftie point of view. I'm your host, Alex.
And I am your other host, Sarah. And today we're talking about Rey and our picks for her from Taylor Swift's album, Red. But before we dive into that, Alex, how are you doing?
It's been a bumpy start to the school year, I'll say that.
Yeah.
We've had some remodeling going on at school, and it's interesting, to say the least. And I say that in the most Minnesotan way. If you're from Minnesota or know that, you know what that means.
Yeah. No, I feel for you, and I feel for all the students, because it's not like the greatest learning environment right now.
Yeah, we started a week late, and yeah, so fun.
Oof.
How are you doing, Sarah?
I am good. We've had a beautiful turn to the fall weather. I am embracing all of the spooky Halloween fall vibes, and I'm really appreciating the joy that my coworkers have gotten, because I know on our last episode we talked about Taylor and Travis's engagement, but like my coworkers are still like continuing to come up to me and like talk to me about it and almost in a way congratulate me like it was my own engagement because they're engaged. And it's like, that's a nice thought, but that's also, I'm not the one that got engaged.
But they know the happiness that it brings you of how happy you are for her.
They do. And one of my Swiftie friend got me some stickers to celebrate. So I have some nice new Midnights and Reputation themed stickers.
Well, and especially if it's Swiftie friends, they're definitely like they're still happy, so they're congratulating.
We're celebrating together.
They're celebrating. It's not like it's your engagement. It's like we are celebrating our own engagements together because we're just so happy.
Right, but no, my boss sent me a meme about it. So that
whoa, your boss? You did not tell me that before.
No, yeah, my boss. So because my boss doesn't normally text me, like we have each other's numbers, to text if needed of like, hey, I'm gonna be in later, I'm out sick or whatever. But no, she texted me a meme about Taylor Swift's wedding.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing, because she is not a Swiftie.
No,
all.
She's not.
So that again.
But she's like, I saw this and thought of you, and I was like, oh.
Oh, so you are literally the meme now of
yes.
You think about me when you see Taylor.
When you see Taylor.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I wear that badge at work, and I wear it proudly. And I also wear the badge of being the Star Wars fan. And so people like will come up to me and talk about those two things. And I'm like, if I'm going to be pigeonholed, these are great pigeonholes because I literally have a Star Wars Taylor Swift podcast. So I'm not complaining about it. It beats other weird random small talk that you can find yourself in the office.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing really good.
And then we're continuing to build up our anticipation for Life of a Showgirl.
Yes. I want to do a listen through of all of the albums again leading up to the release and like listen to them in release order and like, track list order. Because I do listen to Taylor Swift quite a bit, but I'll often just like put an album on shuffle or put her whole discography on shuffle. And I know I want to intentionally like sit and listen to each album again before we get the drop.
Yep.
So yeah, it is good.
Yeah. So we're so excited, and the students are already mad at me for how much I'm excited about Taylor Swift's new album and her engagement. So
yeah, because they don't want to admit that they have a cool teacher.
I mean, it's one of those things. I think it's pretty cool, but they all think I'm weird. But
it's their job as
students. As students.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. So as we're talking about Life of a Showgirl, just a heads up, we will be doing a reaction episode. So that will not be part of so on our next episode about 1989, might talk a little bit about Life of a Showgirl, but we will have a separate album or separate episode that has all of our feelings, because we are fully aware that our last episode went the longest so far, other than the and/or bonus episode.
Yeah, and that was a bonus.
But that was a bonus and talked about like 4 or 5 different characters versus that one was still talking about one, and we just talked about Life of a Showgirl and the engagement for 20 minutes. So we want to make sure that we get that more cut. And if you want to hear our personal opinions on that, you can look for that bonus episode.
Before we dive in to our picks for Rey, let's chat about each of our respective favorite songs from Red.
Oh, that's right.
We do that. I almost forgot that too.
I did forget that. I was thinking of like what was my first experience with Red, but I've already done that.
Yeah, we've already shared that.
We've already shared that.
So if you haven't heard that, listeners, go back and listen to our Red episode we did for Leia, and that's where we talk about our first experiences with the album. It was a great time. But not what we're doing here.
No, so I will say, why don't you go first?
Okay. I know last time with Speak Now, both with Speak Now and Fearless, we asked, does it matter if we do from the Taylor's version or not?
Correct.
And this one, to me, it does. If we're counting Red, Taylor's version, or the original release, Red.
Okay. There's only one answer, really, if you're talking about the vault tracks.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So if we're saying Red Taylor's version, hands down, it's All Too Well, the 10-minute version.
Yep.
That is the song.
Yep, I would agree. That's my number one on that as well. Yeah,
for Red Taylor's version.
Taylor's version.
It is it's a masterclass in songwriting. It's absolutely brilliant and moving, and you get the whole roller coaster of her emotions in that song. So then maybe it would be a little bit more interesting to talk about our favorite from the original release.
Okay.
So my favorite song from Red, the original album release, is The Last Time, which is the duet
really?
with, what's his face from the Snow Patrol?
I don't remember his name.
Yeah, I really like it. I think their duet is really beautiful. I love the emotion in that one. Because, it's a combination of, like, this chapter is ending, but there's one last... It's a really beautiful duet between the two of them.
Yeah, no, I like that one a lot. I know there's a lot of people that don't, which is weird. They think they sound weird together, and I completely disagree.
I think they play off each other well.
No, it's in my top 5 on that album.
Nice. Which I'm not surprised that is a pick for me, because some of Red is still fairly country, and country is not my preferred genre, whereas The Last Time to me isn't necessarily a country song. It's going a little bit more in the pop version.
I would say that's more rock than pop, but
it's a slower song and the emotion are there.
Yep.
It doesn't have the twang. I will say that. It doesn't have the twang. Whatever.
Does not have the twang.
Yeah.
I would agree.
So then what is your favorite from the original Red release?
My favorite is I Knew You Were Trouble.
Ooh.
I have loved that song since its release. And honestly, like, I'm actually, like, this is the one song I think on all so far of of Taylor's re-releases and like the Taylor's versions, I actually liked the original better because she did change up it wasn't as much of I think she took more of a risk in the original, and it was, I wouldn't say trap sounding, but it was more techno, versus in the Taylor's version, I think she especially the like there's more of like a techno sound in there in the original version than the techno pop, I guess, and then the Taylor's version. And so I am ecstatic that she now owns her albums again. Happy Taylor Swift Liberation Day. And that now I can listen to that song again. Because again, the Taylor's version is still very good, but it is, to me, that original is the original connection. And I like that one a lot.
Sure. No, and that makes sense. Because there are subtle differences between her Taylor's versions and the originals.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're able to listen to that guilt-free.
Mhm.
and openly again.
I mean, there was no guilt. I didn't listen to it.
Right, but
Yes.
well, I know some Swifties would still listen to it, but then feel guilty about it.
Nope. We were a Taylor's
We were a Taylor
Taylor's version only household, but now we
we're
can
an
be an
all
all
version.
Taylor version household.
All version house.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I'm still getting used to, having come into the Swiftie fandom
With Taylor's versions.
with Taylor's versions. Like, I came in with Lover, and so I'm just like, I know you introduced me to her originals, but then some of the songs on the original releases, like, I have not heard in years.
Yes.
And so then it's like they'll come up now when I put, I'm listening to YouTube Music and put Taylor on shuffle, and it comes up, and I'm like, I don't have to instantly like hit past it, or I'm like, oh, this sounds so weird, because it's not what I'm used to.
Yep.
All right, our picks for Rey. Would you like me to go first, or would you like to go first?
I will actually go first because it ties in very nicely with our conversations
About our favorite
songs.
Oh, nice.
So I did mention this before. I do go a little meta here, but I have Rey Skywalker as All Too Well 10-minute version.
What?
Yeah. I think it works really well.
Okay, because when we started this journey, we're like, are we ever gonna pick the 10-minute version?
And I'm coming in with both barrels.
All right, I'm comfortable. Please share.
Okay, so this, and so I do want to preface this. This is not a criticism of Rey. I like Rey. This is more a criticism of decisions made by Disney with the character of Rey, more and how she relates to the fans. And when I say that, I mean the actual fans who like her versus I'm not talking about misogynistic jerks who are like, we hate Rey and all that. We're talking about like legitimate fans and how some of those fans lost a little bit of that connection in Rise of Skywalker. And so, yeah, it's a ride, guys and gals. So it's happening.
Okay, I'm ready.
So to start us off, we have, I walked through the door with you. The air was cold, but something about it felt like home somehow. And I left my scarf there at your sister's house, and you've still got it in your drawer even now. Oh, sweet disposition, and my wide-eyed gaze were singing in the car, getting lost upstate. Autumn leaves falling down like pieces into place. I can picture it after all these days. So this is Rey and the fans in The Force Awakens. They are excited and happy to be back in the theater with Rey in the first Star Wars movie since Revenge of the Sith. It feels like home, as Han says in the movie, and there's only happiness in the future of Rey and Star Wars. We then go into, you taught me about your past, thinking your future was me, and you were tossing me the car keys, F the patriarchy, keychain on the ground. We were always skipping town. And I was thinking on the drive down, any time now, he's going to say it's love. You never called it what it was. Till we were dead and gone and buried, check the pulse and come back swearing it's the same after 3 months in the grave. And then you wonder where it went to as I reached for you, but all I felt was shame. You held my lifeless frame. So Rey was happy to be pushing against the patriarchy and to be a female lead character. She was happy to be fighting the misogynistic fans and being a good example for young girls. That was until Rise of Skywalker, where she is undone by decisions made by Disney to appease the toxic fans and make her have to earn her place. Rise of Skywalker came out in December 2019. It was not commercially well received, and it was hit even harder when 3 months after its release, COVID hit, but it was already dead at the box office. And then continuing on, and I know it's long gone. That's magic's not here no more. And I might be okay, but I'm not fine at all. 'Cause there we are again on that little town street. You almost ran the red 'cause you were looking over at me. Wind in my hair. I was there. I remember it all too well. So we can all remember the feeling of excitement and anticipation for Rey's stories being told. With the release of Rise of Skywalker, not many people were happy with its portrayal of Rey. Be they Reylo or not, we will remember the good times all too well. And then continuing in the song, and maybe we got lost in translation, maybe I asked for too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece till you tore it all up. Running scared, I was there, I remember it all too well. The fans asked too much of Rey and Star Wars because we wanted them to treat her character with respect and dignity.
That's not asking too much.
I know, but that apparently it is. The Last Jedi was a continued masterpiece from The Force Awakens until Disney tore it all up with The Rise of Skywalker. And you call me up again just to break me like a promise, so casually cruel in the name of being honest. I'm a crumpled up piece of paper lying here because I remember it all too well. This is Disney trying to earn the trust of the fans back, and they are releasing a new Rey film, but it keeps getting pushed back, and they will have to be careful with the feelings of the fans who supported them and Rey. And then last refrain, 'cause there we are again when I loved you so, back before you lost the one real thing you've ever known. I was rare, I was there, I remember it all too well. Wind in my hair, you were there, I remember it all. Down the stairs, you were there, you remember it all. It was rare, I was there, I remember it all too well. We had something special with Rey in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, but it was taken from Rey and the fans after the greed of Disney. It was rare, we were there, we remember it all too well.
Nicely done. I was gonna say, especially the lines after casually cruel. Maybe we got lost in translation. Maybe I asked for too much, but maybe this thing was a masterpiece before you
tore it all up.
That one, especially because we know how much Disney listened to things on social media, and there was the rewrites that had to happen for episode 9 after Carrie passed, and all of those pieces, and so it's like Rey got lost in the translation.
I do want to preface that, I know there are some people that like Rey in Rise of Skywalker. These are my own personal opinions. Please, I'm not trying to critique anybody's liking of Rise of Skywalker. If you did, fantastic. It is just kind of, I've done a lot of research. There's actually a really great podcast that is not going anymore, but did a lot of research into the development of the Rise of Skywalker and how Disney listened to the toxic YouTube fans, basically, and changed things. So, if you liked it, great. I'm not trying to critique that. So I just wanted to put that this is, again, a positive podcast, but it's just, and we've talked about on this podcast, we've talked about in our sister podcast, Feeling the Force, of the potential that was the sequel trilogy. And I feel that this song with Rey, especially with Rey, is it was almost there. It could have been a lot more. I think that's the thing of it could have, not necessarily if you like the movie, great, but it could have been so much more. She was minimized, I feel. Mm-hmm. And that's, again, my personal opinion, and apparently Sarah's too, but yeah. So yeah, no, I love Rey, but I really don't like the choices that J.J. Abrams made and the writers in Disney made with Rey in The Rise of Skywalker. To me, it erases so much of the growth and the progress of the previous 2 movies. I would agree. Yeah. But let us know if you disagree. Let us know if you think this is a terrible pick for Rey. Send us an email, or send us an email at thesandhurtsmyfeelingspod@gmail.com, or send us a comment on the episode, or send us a DM in Instagram at sandhurtsmyfeelingspod. On Facebook as well, or Blue Sky, we're Sandy Feelings. All right. How am I supposed to follow that up? I don't know, but we lined it up perfectly. No, and we're talking about how perfect that song is, and it's a masterpiece and all that. So no, I don't. It was very. I'm probably the most proud of that one, because I was I could not find another song on this album that I think fit. And so I'm excited to hear your pick. Because I couldn't and I was like, how do I do it? How do I do it? Because I listened to the song and I'm like, this fits. I don't know how, but it fits.
Yeah.
And I remember doing that, and I was like, oh, here it is, and I got it, and then it took it. So what's your pick?
Mine is also from the vault.
Okay.
Which I find fascinating that we both picked vault tracks for Rey, but I think it makes sense in a way too. I think of these albums, Red and Ray, they're not quite on the same wavelength. But mine is a Reylo pick, which I know you're not a fan of the Reylo relationship.
I'm fine with it up until Rise of Skywalker.
Sure.
No, I like it. I think it's a good thing. It's the decisions that were made in Rise of Skywalker that I don't like.
Sure.
So no, I'm fine with that relationship.
Okay. But this is a very Reylo song. My pick is Better Man.
Ooh.
Rey wants Ben, not Kylo Ren, because Ben Solo is the better man, not Kylo Ren. Kylo Ren is volatile and abuses Rey emotionally and verbally.
And physically.
And they could be a team if he would just leave the dark side. So going line by line, I see the permanent damage you did to me. Never again. I just wish I could forget when it was magic. So Kylo Ren has done permanent damage to Rey on multiple accounts, and the magic reference is their hand touch in The Last Jedi and that otherworldly connection where they both felt something otherworldly and more for each other in that moment. That was magic. I wish it wasn't 4 a.m., standing in the mirror, saying to myself, you know you had to do it. I know the bravest thing I ever did was run. So that this is in reference to her leaving Kylo/Ben after the throne room scene and closing the door on their forced connection at the end of The Last Jedi. She had to do it even though it was really, really hard to run away from that moment because she had such high hopes for where they could go. Then we hit the chorus, which is pretty much her talking to Ben Solo. Sometimes in the middle of the night, I can feel you again, but I just miss you, and I just wish you were a better man. I know why we had to say goodbye like the back of my hand, but I just miss you, and I just wish you were a better man. A better man. Going into the second verse, I'm probably better off all alone than needing a man who could change his mind at any given minute. And it was always on your terms. I waited on every careless word. So Kylo Ren dictated their dialogues kind of throughout all of the movies. He led the conversations. And Rey held out hope for getting something that she would need from him in those conversations. And whenever Rey tried to take control of the situation or the conversation, he would question her about it.
Mm-hmm.
But your jealousy can hear it now, talking down to me like I'd always be around, push my love away like it was some kind of loaded gun you'd never thought I'd run. Kylo Ren is jealous of Rey getting the Skywalker saber at the end of The Force Awakens and having a better relationship with his parents than he does. He assumes that she will always be there in their Force connection for him to use as a punching bag. I hold on to this pride because these days it's all I have, and I gave you my best, and we both know you can't say that. So Rey clings to her morals, the light side, and her ideals, and doesn't go to the dark side with him, even though it was a hard decision to walk away. And she feels alone now because she felt Kylo really understood her. She gave her full, true, authentic self to him in their Force connections, and he did not. Or his dark side overtook it in the end of The Last Jedi. And the last line I have is, I wonder what we would have become if you were a better man. We might still be in love if you were a better man. You would have been the one if you were a better man. She says in The Rise of Skywalker, she wanted to take Ben's hand. They're a dyad in the Force. They teamed up really well, and they felt a connection for each other, and they would have been unstoppable had they actually teamed up. But unfortunately, Kylo Ren was not a better man for Rey.
That's a fantastic pick, and I honestly that is my epitomation of Reylo. That's what I like. I like that idea of it. My issue with Reylo is what happens in Rise of Skywalker and stuff like that.
Sure.
So again, Disney decisions. My again, if you like it, great. But yeah, that's so. No, I was fully in on Reylo in Last Jedi, and then she walks away. So because he's not a better man. Fantastic pick.
Thank you. Yeah, he lets his dark side take over. But yeah, I just think of after she stabs him and then heals him, and she's like, "I did want to take your hand. I wanted to take Ben's hand," and to me, like that is just like the chorus here of just like, I wish you were better. Like I would do this if you were better.
I will say I'm very impressed with you because that is a very twangy country song, and you do not like those. So I am impressed with the use of that song.
Thank you. Any other thoughts we have on Rey and Red?
I don't think so. I think it has been a great ride. We have now done GalaxyCon, so that's awesome. And that was a really cool experience, and we were glad to see everybody at GalaxyCon Iowa. And we are hoping to do more events and more things like that. So if you want to come meet or just figure stuff out, we'll be doing that. And we're going to cut that out because that made no sense. But yeah, I think we had a lot of fun. And again, I'm loving this podcast. I'm loving getting to know you more because I feel like I do when I hear the songs you pick and everything. So, and the way your mind works, because it's so much different than mine.
Yeah, the way we process music is so different.
It's so different.
I really appreciate
the two different minds. Yeah, because it would be a pretty boring podcast if we always matched. Like we have yet to match.
Right,
we got close.
To match. Oh.
And I'm okay with that. We haven't, but
I want to do trivia.
I know. So come to one of our cons if you want to hear trivia, because we'll do the trivia at the cons.
Yeah, we try to stump each other.
Yeah, but we'll see. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna match. We'll see. We might, but we might not.
We might not.
Maybe we'll someday do a random trivia episode just where we just try to trick each other. We'll see.
That would be a good bonus. But next episode, we're going to be talking about Rey and 1989.
We're also going to be not our normal selves because we're going to be freaking out over Life of a Showgirl.
Yeah,
so
this is our last episode.
There's less of before Life of a Show. That's insane. Yeah. So as I said earlier, we will have our own separate album, own separate episode discussing individual songs, individual feelings. We will give a broad strokes discussion on it in our next Rey 1989. But yeah, this is the last one before our lives change again.
True though.
So if you want to get in contact with us, you can get in contact with us with our email, sandhurtsmyfeelingspod@gmail.com, Instagram, Facebook, Threads. We are the Sand Hurts My Feelings Pod, and we are on Blue Sky at Sandy Feelings. And then always, if you could give us a review or just kind of give us a listen, give us a rating, review on any of the podcasting networks, we really appreciate it, and we would love to kind of slowly increase or also just give word of mouth. We're having a great time, and we'd like to hear more from y'all.
Yeah.
And so
check out our TeePublic and our Redbubble.
Redbubble, yep. We've sold some shirts on there. That's pretty nice.
Merch. We have some that are just Taylor Swift and Halloween related, so this is a very apt time of year for that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. This is just a lot of fun. So I'm glad we're doing this, and thanks for listening. But always remember, may the Force be with you.
Forever and always.
May the Force be with you.
Forever and always.